So today's Tuesday, which means we might get content in MLB The Show 25 Diamond Dynasty. But today we certainly got great content. Today was the July Spotlight content drop, and it was amazing. The two Lightning cards are phenomenal. All the other cards are very good. SDS has been killing content recently. So yeah, let's get into it. First things first, a little late video. I was, obviously not at my PS5 when this content was released. That's all I'll say, basically, is that I'm making this video as early as I can. But regardless, let's take a look at the calendar as we always do. So today is August 5th. We got the Retro Lightning and the July Lightning, and those three dots for each of those words was the kid, aka Ken Griffey Jr., and it is his endgame Ken Griffey Jr. It's not one of those BS early game 99s like that one in MLB 22. Those of you who played MLB 22, we got obviously the program with that, and then moving forward on Friday, we have XP Path Drop 2 missions and double PXP, and then we have multiplayer program Drop 2 missions, so we're going to get the second stage of the multiplayer program, and then the August Spotlight Drop 1. So let's go ahead and take a look at those Lightning players. First, let's start with the July Lightning card being 99 Willy Adames. When I saw this tweet, I was really shocked that they gave it to Willy Adames, considering he already has a July Spotlight card. He was from the first drop. He's going for still a lot. I mean, it's probably just because of Griffey. But this is a free 99 Willy Adames. And this is one thing that I always tell people, especially on Twitter, which if you want to try to tell people to stop being crazy on Twitter, there's no point because people are always going to be crazy. But anyway, it doesn't matter who gets what cards. All that matters is the attributes. Now, there are some exceptions, being bad batting stances, lag with a certain player model, or a certain, a certain windup being super long. Outside of that, just wait until we see the attributes. This Willy Adames is the perfect example of that. People were mad that it was Willy Adames. Look at this card. I mean, 118, 125 contact, 100, 125 power with 125 clutch. He's going to be maxed out versus lefties in every situation. Maxed out contact versus righties in the clutch. He has enough power versus righties. He's more than enough power versus righties. He's going to have gold defense at short with a pretty solid arm, and he also has 73 speed. This is a great shortstop card that's free and can do it all. If you can't get Ethan Holiday, this card is great. And this card you can even say is better than Ethan Holiday. I think these guys are, neck and neck with each other. Adames better versus left, and then vice versa for Holiday. I might actually platoon the two. But this guy can play. He really can. Now let's take a look at the Retro Lightning card, and this card is easily the best one thus far. 99 Ken Griffey Jr. from July of 1966, from 1996, where he was top 5 in homers, RBIs, and OPS with almost a 1,300 OPS in a month. That's crazy. Taking a look at this card, oh my goodness, dude. 120 for both contact right and power right, 115, 113 versus lefties. So he is going to not have reverse splits, which we've seen in previous Griffey cards, but he's still going to crush lefties. 120 clutch only helps him against lefties. It doesn't hurt him. Diamond defense across the board, great speed and stealing. He can only play center, but as long as you have other outfielders that can play other spots, for me, I'm going to be moving Beltran to right and then Bautista to third. So I can just throw Griffey in center, and I'm sure he'd be fine out of position, in all honesty. But let's take a look at this collection. So if you collect 3 cards, you get a guaranteed June Spotlight card. I should have remembered not to lock these guys in early, because then now I have to lock another card in to get that Spotlight pack because it was added after the content today. If you guys are having like that glitch, it's not really a glitch. It's just what happens when you do a collection ahead of time. Just get another player and then lock it in and you'll get this pack. For 5 of the 11 cards, you will be getting Jackson Chourio. I got so many of these predictions right. I had him being the program award, and then I had Jarren Duran being in the pack, and he was the program award. I got a lot of these guys right. Jackson Chourio, 125, 120 contact, 125 clutch, 103, 85 power, gold defense, good enough arm in the outfield, 97 speed. This card looks almost identical to his supercharge. and almost identical to my mock-up in my video that I dropped the other day predicting these cards. Now, let's go to the program first before we go over the pack cards. So here's the July Spotlight Drop 4 pack. If we look through the path, there are six cards. There's another April Spotlight Drop 1. Wait, why is it just drop 1? That's interesting. Why would they just choose only one instead of the whole set? I don't know. Anyway, you get an April Spotlight card if you need it. I don't think you do. But free stubs regardless. You know, there are cards, there July Spotlight Drop 1, 2, any June Spotlight, and then we have July Spotlight 3, Drop 4, and then a guaranteed one of these guys before you finish with this 99 Jarren Duran. So let's take a look at him. 125, 107 contact, 103, 80 power, 125 clutch. That power left is a little low for this stage of the power creep, but this is still an amazing option, and he'll still be able to hit lefties well. And that 80 power meets the threshold. Those of you who don't know what that means, in gameplay, if you have a perfect and your card has 80 power, it's supposed to be a guaranteed extra base hit. So it's important to have 80 power, which he does. 85 vision, 87 discipline, 125 clutch, so that's going to help versus lefties. Gold defense, really good arm, amazing speed. This is a great outfielding option, but I just am confused because you're getting two other outfielders in the Retro Light. I know everyone's not going to get the Retro Lightning collection, but there are just so many outfielders, and I think that some other outfielders have this card beat. Doesn't mean he's not good, and it's a great free 99, but that's just my stance on it. Moving down the program, we have a 98 Luis Castillo, 4-seam sinker, slider, circle change. Control is insane, break is amazing, does not have outlier, he does have break outlier. 100 hits per 9, 91 Ks per 9, 101 pitching clutch. This card can pretty much do everything for you, but I don't think he's going to be that amazing. This card would be so much better with a cutter, but you can't just force people to throw certain pitches in real life just so their MLB The Show cards are better. But he won't be an awful pitcher. We have Jose Altuve, who, as much as I will forever not like him, you can't discredit the type of player that he is. He had an amazing month of July. 118, 125 contact, 88, 105 power, 125 clutch. Second base primary, so he's not a left fielder, although he does have that secondary. Defense, not the best, but it is second base, and you don't need a good arm for second base. Doesn't really steal bases anymore like he used to, but this is a good contact bat, and he can hit for power, pretty solidly. We have Andrew Vaughn, who's just been phenomenal with the Brewers ever since he got picked up. 91, 125 contact, 115, 76 power with 125 clutch. So many of these guys have 125 clutch. His defense is putrid, but it's only first base, so it means the least out of any defensive rating. Moving down the line, we have Trevor Rogers, 4-seam circle change, sinker, slider, sweeper. Pretty good pitch mix. Good control, great break on the top 3 pitches. The velocity's pretty solid. I will say, a starting pitcher with 116 hits per 9 and 125 clutch is extremely rare. I got to give it to him. Now, his Ks per 9 is just atrocious at 83, so you're not going to strike anyone out. But the PCIs are going to be tiny with this Trevor Rogers. And then we have Jojo Romero, a lefty reliever, 101, 107 per 9s, 125 pitching clutch, slider, sinker, circle change, 4-seam. Control is insane. Break is amazing as well. This card is great. No outlier. Hits per 9 maybe could be a little higher, but it is still an amazing lefty reliever. So by the time this video is out, these flash sales will probably be gone. But yeah, there's a combination bundle and a flash sale chase any. So yeah, let's take a look at the headliner first, being this milestone Joe Torre for his batting title in 1971, where he hit 363. Obviously, when you hit 363 and get a batting title, you're going to have 125 contact and clutch. That's pretty self-explanatory. Power, 103 versus right, 82 versus left. Defensively, not the best at third. He has 78 arm strength, so he'll survive at third. I wouldn't mind him having catcher as a secondary, but he didn't really play catcher deep into his career, Joe Torre. But yeah, this is a pretty solid card. He's going for around 31K. Now let's take a look at the Spotlight packs. We have George Springer, 125, 97 contact, 110, 112 power with 112 clutch. Silver defense across the board. Pretty solid speed and stealing. You can only play right field. Yeah. Salvador Perez, I predicted this guy correctly. Less balanced than I thought, but maxed out versus righties with 120 clutch, 90 contact, 101 power, 28 discipline. That is really low. You're not going to get any check swings with this guy, but he's still going to destroy the ball. And he has an accurate arm, but not a strong one. Trevor McGill, shout out James McGill. I don't know. I'm just a big Better Call Saul fan. But anyway, 4-seam, knuckle curve, 2-seam. I always think of I actually always think of Chuck McGill when I see Trevor McGill. I don't know. That name just associates more with Chuck than, Jimmy, even though... Okay, I'm going to shut up. But Trevor McGill, maxed out hits per 9 and pitching clutch. Good velo, but his pitch mix just really holds this card back, even with double outlier. He is outlier on the curveball. Wow. Still kind of holds this card back. We have a Mickey Moniak, destroys righties, sucks versus lefties. This is easily a pinch hitter. We have Jordan Westberg, destroys lefties, good contact versus righties, good clutch, good defense and speed, and can play 3 spots. And then let's take a look at these tops now really quickly. Alex Freeland, high contact, clutch, good defense. Oops. Alex Freeland. We have Randy Rosarena, great against lefties, solid against righties, really good speed and stealing too. Troy Melton, overall pretty solid, starting pitcher, no quirks, great pitch mix, wow. And then we have Nick Lodolo as the last card. Shout out MLB 20, Nick Lodolo. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. But most importantly, make sure to subscribe on here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.